VNUK Institute for Research and Executive Education, the University of Da Nang is proud to be the first international public higher education established on the basis of cooperation between the two governments of Vietnam and the United Kingdom. VNUK, the forerunner of the Vietnam-UK International Government University, strives to become a world-class university with groundbreaking research, producing well-rounded graduates taught in an integrated, exclusive and inspiring environment. Aston University is the main partner of VNUK, together with other reputable universities such as Heriot-Watt University and the University of Southampton. VNUK students will have the opportunity to transfer to Aston University and Heriot-Watt University under 2+2 and 3+1 programs, with a discount policy exclusively applied for VNUK students. It reduces the significant cost of study, but still allows students to experience studying at an international level, followed by being awarded with a degree from reputable universities under the UK grant. What sets VNUK apart from other universities? At VNUK, we pride ourselves on providing the best services to our students that we believe will not only develop their knowledge and skills in their chosen courses, but will also mould them into well-rounded individuals. International learning environment. The programme at VNUK is consulted and developed by leading professors of Aston University, VNUK's strategic partner. Therefore, the programme content is ensured to be updated to satisfy international standards. The courses are taught entirely in English by 30% of foreign lecturers, together with faculty lecturers who have graduated from prestigious universities in the world and are experienced experts from reputable firms. All of the lecturers are passionate and dedicated about helping students explore their abilities, as well as develop lifelong learning skills, aiming to improve the standard of education in Vietnam. To ensure the competitiveness for graduate students in the global labour market, VNUK pays special attention to the development of creative thinking, critical thinking and soft skills. These skills are tightly integrated into every module at VNUK during the course. At VNUK, we witness firsthand the great transformation of our students throughout their university careers, especially through the internship programme. We have created and continue to develop a strong network of partners in Da Nang City as well as throughout the country, providing students with opportunities to gain some hands-on experience and professional skills. This ensures that students are in an advantageous position to gain stronger career prospects. We are constantly developing links with universities in other countries such as the United Kingdom, Hungary, Spain and Korea to provide students with opportunities to study in one or more countries around the world, to pursue advanced programs in these countries. University life of a VNUK student is fulfilled with a handful of dynamic and meaningful activities. Students can take part in many exciting activities, from speaking English with Tea Time Talk Club, debating with VNUK Socrates Club, or being a part of the committee team of community-orientated events, such as Make a Change Weekend, British Cultural Festival, Halloween or Christmas. These events help students gain knowledge on universal topics, to raise the awareness of social responsibility, but also to understand the beauty of different cultures of the world. Coming to VNUK opens up the opportunity to transform yourself and the future. We are committed to working with you and helping you become a global citizen, leader and healer of the world. VNUK, Inspiring Bridge.
the demons of my mind ever since came around. We a river running wild. How could I have been so blind? I just live a fast life, forget about the past. I numb out to escape my fears. Friendships only pass by, show up on like strobe lights. With you I feel something real. And I walk a million miles just to see you smile till the day I die. Oh, I need you by my side. We get high on life till the day we die. High on life till
we're gonna have the poster presentation. So each group you're gonna have 2 minutes exactly. So cô Thủy help me turn off to alarm when time is off. So in order we have absent, number 1 absent, number 2 Ahmed. Share with us very briefly about your project.
Dạ cô, nhóm Florister có gửi qua mail cho cô rồi đó ạ.
Yeah, okay, got it. Okay, go on, absent. This is your poster.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Mike, and I'm from the absent team. And I would like to tell you about our meaningful project. During the first phases of design thinking process, our team wanted to focus on the problem of the relationship between parents and their children. But after a lot of interviews with young parents, we found out another serious and very overlooked issues that needs to be addressed, which is postpartum depression. According to some screening studies, the rate of postpartum depression in Vietnam can be up to 33%. 1/3 of young mothers and fathers face this problem. So that is why, in our opinion, it deserves more attention. So to solve this problem, our team came up with the idea of creating a mobile app that will be both educational, convenient, and flexible. And this app includes 3 main functions that are blog, podcast, and online courses. And our aim is to help increase the overall enjoyment of parenting using this solution. Because when parents are happier, babies will also grow up happier. And we hope that this app will be innovative in the future so that it can support mothers and fathers not only in Vietnam, but also all over the world to have a better experience raising their children. And our team will be happy to tell you more about the details and process of creating this solution in our presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Super. Thank you, Absent. Please give a big hand for the first poster ever. Thank you. Okay, the next one, I would like to invite group Ahmed. Please welcome Ahmed. Turn on the video and share with us your poster. Ahmed, please. Ahmed, are you ready? If not, I would like to move on to the moon. The moon, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so welcome. The moon.
Good morning, everyone. We are the Moon team, and I'm Hồ Đặng Minh Nhân. Now we introduce you to our poster.
Yes, go on.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You can.
Let me open by another type of. I don't know. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yeah, go on, please.
Good morning, everyone. We are the Moon team, and I'm Hồ Đặng Minh Nhân. Now we introduce you our poster. Specifically, we are dealing with the problem that is people use phones unconsciously before sleep. Therefore, we come up with the idea to create a tracking app with forum and chances to have people to leave phone without inhibition before sleep. In terms of the design process, we started from the need finding to high fidelity. In the need finding process, we defined the problem and used how-many questions to come up with several solutions, and demo allow prototype for each question solution. Then we chose the best one to start a medium prototype. And after receiving feedback from users, we finished with our product with high fidelity. And besides, there are 3 key features in the bottom. That's a forum to share experience and tips for better sleep. The sleep mode to ban on apps is SMS and phone calls. And finally, to form the healthy sleep habits for users by interactive challenges. And that's our poster. If you want to take our applications, please scan the QR code in the right. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, the moon. Thank you, the moon. Very interesting project. And next, Ahmed, are you ready? It seems like Ahmed is not here. So next, I would like to introduce Treddy.
Hello, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, to get the ball rolling, we want to introduce our team. So we have 6 members, as you can see at the top left corner of the poster. So I will commence with our team logo, as our team has 3 core values: daring, dedication, and determined. So we took the first 3 Ds and come up with the logo as you can see in the poster. Why did we choose the color palette for the logo and some other parts? Our team wants to bring the feeling of modern, future-oriented, and delicacy. And the blue and other similar colors can meet the mentioned factors. How about the slogan? We're quite proud of the slogan as it has taken us several weeks to come up with it. Safety for driver, tranquility for family. It contains all the value of our product and our aim for this project. Now, I will discuss more about the content. So the poster had its content presented quite logically. At first, we found the problem of our society, which is the sudden distraction of driver-like drowsiness. Then, we moved to the final solution, with the camera checking the driver behaviors and a vibrating device attached to the seat belt to acquaint the drivers. For the design process, we sketched out the overall design of the camera and the vibrating device on paper, which is the low-feed stage. Then, we put it on the website for basic 3D design named Tinkercad, and finally we have printed them out with the help of 3D printing technology and presented in the high-fee category. finally, it's the apply process with some product description and illustrated images that you can see at the end of the poster. So, that's all for our team poster. If you want to have more information, please scan the QR code to read more of ours. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Freddy. Please, the big hand for Freddy for a very good poster presentation. Thank you. And next, I would like to introduce Panic. You have 2 minutes.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very good. Well.
Yes. And welcome to our poster. And you can see on the slide that is our poster, PS Smart Cover. That is the name of product. PS it means Panic Smart. And so our problem that is today housewives feel hesitant to reduce the layover because they can make sure whether their food has gone back or not. And so from the problem, we set the target that we want to make providing family members with ease to use the leftover at home. We create equipment that help the housewife mechanism confidently. And you can see next one that is a design. First of all, we sketch the idea and then we design on the web, on the tool. And next step, we create a prototype to introduce, and from the product, from the equipment, we believe that three values we can show for customer. First, value that is peace in mind. Secondly, that health confidence. Third, when the housewife can make decision quickly, they can please to use the food again. And the third, that is the important part, reduce food waste and financial saving. And our product has 3 key features. You can see firstly that display the food obviously. Second, keep the food away from fly or bacteria. And lastly, that's showing the food status with 3 colors. And if you curious, please attend our pitching. Thank you for your listening.
Panic and big hand for you. And next, I would like recall Ahmed. Are you there? Ahmed?
Hello again. Sorry.
Ahmed?
Yes.
Yeah, please turn on the video and share with us your poster.
Can you please wait for a moment?
Yes, I can.
Are you ready? If not, I think it's matter time for Flourish. I think Flourish, are you ready?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Flourish or Ahmed?
Flourish.
Okay, let me turn on yours. Sorry for inconvenience. Right here is the
Yes, good morning everyone. My name is Khánh and we are florister. Well, when you're looking at the poster, what do you think about? A toy for children to play or an application that they can use easily? This is the toy connecting with an app with the feature aimed to show children pronunciation in payment called Peter. Our slogan is "Your pronunciation is my spirit." We can see on the top. And we all know that it's very hard for children to join a serious treatment process. Moreover, parents need a solution that they can follow up to decide which solution are suitable or not. Therefore, we provide a teddy bear called Peter and the app with the same name that can provide treatment process to children through the screen located in the bear's checks, and an application for parents to keep track of their child's performance during the treatment process as well. For design process, our team carry out need finding first. We collected all ideas related to this problem and make an interviews to write the empathy maps and identify what we aim to. Then drawing low-fi prototype by paper sketch. And the next step was mid-fi prototype, which was designed by graphic app and significantly improved from the low-fi one. After that, we conducted to get feedbacks from users to find out drawbacks and advantages of our product. And finally, completing hi-fi prototype as our product right now. Furthermore, our product has some main functions. The first one we can see in the Peter app called commands from experts, and the process, which has specific diagram to support parents to follow their children's treatment process. In the teddy bear, there are two key functions, communication and game, which can help young users to pronounce the word correctly with their practice. They can both solve their problem as well as entertain. Thanks for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Floris, and for sorry for inconvenience due to the technical problem. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Now I would like to start because we have 6 teams today, so we will not have a time for discussion or anything. Just let's get started now. First of all, I would like to have very short, brief opening for the project fair today. I'm back with my screen. Today, we have just finished the poster presentation, and we have few minutes for opening. And as you know, this is the photos about our project fair last year. Despite the fact that COVID also happened last year, but fortunately, all the design thinking class project fair of design thinking did happen. And you also see Georgia Sung Ho Park, Mr. Steve Lanman and Dr. Long and Cô Thủy here as the judge during the presentation for final project last year. Unluckily, this year we expect that and we waited for COVID to overcome, but finally we can't wait. So we decide to organize an online event project fair. So I hope you bear with us the inconvenience today. But you can see how interesting and the air of the event last year. It was very successful. And this, even though we organize online this year, but we also look forward very wonderful and successful event today. sorry for, let me, I don't know what, let me, okay, let me use the, yeah, I don't know why it's so hard. Okay, so I would like to briefly share with you about the course. So design thinking at VNUK is organized, modules for all the majors, including like international business, biomedical science, computer science, and data science. And for this year, the two courses combine the students from mainly from two majors, international business and computer science. And this is a wonderful combination where you bring together your own expertise and competencies to together develop the prototype. So this is the process. I would like, might be some of you feel very so weird or so strange with the concept of design thinking. So I just would like to show you again, this is the process of design thinking. All the group of students gone through these 5 stages of design thinking process, from empathy, which means understand the customer, define the problems, come from the end user, ideation for different types of ideas. The groups brainstorm for several ideas and then come up with the best idea that fit with the vision, values, and the end users. And also after selecting the 3 different ideas, the groups develop prototypes and then test on the end user. Even though at the end of the modules, we can't see face to face, and the students cannot go outside to test on the end user, but you did try your best to develop and improve the prototypes. We appreciate all of your efforts for that, and we would like to look back some of the photos that we gone through. So you remember studio, every single class, all the groups present your progress, right? For example, if you gone through the define process, you all go to the class and present the POV of the groups and different POVs, and you get feedback from us, from instructor, including Mr. Huỳnh Vũ, cô Thủy, and I myself. So then I would like to remind you about the project process. You remember we gone through 15 weeks, and today is week 16. And instead of going through only 10 weeks, it looks like we have gone through 3 months. Instead of 10 weeks, we have gone through 3 months or 4 months until now. And you can see we have gone through visit the Innovo company. Over here in week 4, you also unpack the data after empathy. You develop POV, come up with the solution. And you develop from low fi to medium fi to high fi prototypes, testing on the end users. And today is the project fair, right? We just want to remind you about our stories. Very special very special years for design thinking. And Khanh, you might remember time when you can go to the field and interview the driver for your groups, right? You try to empathize and understand the feeling, the difficulties of the drivers. And you, I hope the group will surprise the audience today by your very last prototype. And also another group also remember about the delivery of the empathy stage where you come up with empathy map. You try to understand the end user. Also, all of groups gone through brainstorming session together by brainstorm on how might we questions. You came up with many how might we question, and you did share with all of the class the POVs of that you like the most. Also remember the moon, you have very interesting low fidelity prototype, and another group also share with us the light bulb. That's all very briefly about our process, and Mr. Vũ, Miss Thủy, and I myself appreciate and thanks so much for all of memories and memory with you. We can't forget all the moments, all the presentation in studios, and all of your questions and your worries, your happiness along the way. But today is the time when you share with all the audience on Facebook, VNUK fan page today, especially to the judge, that the process you gone through and the final project. And I believe you all put all of your so much efforts in your project. No matter where you are, you're gonna be in today, you're gonna get the first prize or the second prize. I think you should be very proud of yourself and your team. And now I would like to introduce the judges. We're gonna have two sessions, morning session and afternoon session, because we have 11 teams. And I'm so proud to share with you that our judges, including Mr. Carlos, Miss Hạnh, Mr. Steve, and Mr. Bung. I would like to share with you Mr. Carlos. He's not in Vietnam for sure. He's the friend of Miss Thủy in MBA program at Syracuse University in New York. I think 3 or 4 years ago. And Carlos is Mr. Carlos Rodriguez is an engineer with a lot of experience in consultancy and information technology. So I think the computer science team should be very happy with the presence and attendance of Carlos. And most of you are very familiar with Miss Hạnh Trang, the founder and CEO of Inivo IT Solutions. It's a wonderful, amazing lady who supports so much for Vietnam, for Da Nang City, and for IT industry. And we all visited Inivo company. And as I promised, I will invite Miss Hạnh Trang to be your judge today. And my promise come true. Thanks, Miss Hạnh Trang, so much. And again, hi Steve. Hi Stephen, and you now in the US, not in Vietnam like last year. So Steve supports so much for entrepreneurship in Vietnam and in Da Nang. And Steve did attend 2 project fair last year, and so happily that Miss Thủy and did invite Steve. And despite the fact so the business in the US, but Steve still accept our invitation and to be here today. Last but not least, very special, just come to you today is Mr. Bung. Mr. Bung was the CEO of DNS. I think before 2 years ago. I think he had been working there for about 4 years, and very close friend of mine. And Mr. Bung now is the founder and president of AI Education. He's with a very big dream for the education of all stage from primary school to university. He now working with Google and with Amazon to provide the IT skills for young people, so that to bring them to the workplace. So you will be surprised with him, and will be happy with his very confidence with his presence today. Thank you all for all of you, Carlos, Hạnh Trang, Steve, and Bung. We are so proud with your presence today, and thanks so much. Thanks again. And now I would like all of you come back with the 6 team. We have 6 team. I would like quickly introduce the name of 6 team. We have absent Ahmed, the moon florist, Freddy's, and Panic will present for morning session. Light Up, Beaches, Cyclone, Old Timer, and Aha will present in the afternoon. So now I would like all of you come back with the screen by Miss Lam, and Lam will share the pitch slide of 6 group for the morning session. Lam, please share with us. We don't have you are muted. You are muted, but it's okay. Can you turn off and turn on with yeah, turn on. There's a record on sound together. Thank you, Lam, and thank you, Lam, so much. And now, Miss Thủy, please have us to monitor the progress of presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Hương. So without any, hello everyone. Thank you, Miss Hương. And without any further ado, I would like to invite the team absent. Welcome on stage. You have 12 minutes to present and 15 minutes for the presentation.
Sorry, can everyone see my slides?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi. So, hello everyone. First, from behalf of our team, let me say thank you all for spending your time to attend this pitching day.
Sorry, absent. I would like to. It's not. It's normal if we can't see the judge face to face. Let the judge say hello and turn on the video and say hello for everybody. See, the judge is here. Now, so sorry. So can Carlos, are you there? Carlos,
yes, hi.
Yeah, please, can you turn on the videos, and then we, no, sorry, absent. So absent, can you turn off your slide, then we can see. I'm so excited to see Just, and I believe all of you also. So Carlos, are you there?
Yeah, can
you see me? Show, turn on your, yes, hi Carlos. Yes. Hello, Carlos, and now Miss Hạnh Trang, are you there? Can you turn on the video and we can see you?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you again.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello, Steve.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good evening over there. Okay. Mr. Bung, are you there?
Yep, good morning, Đà Nẵng. Long time no see.
I don't see you yet. Oh, okay.
Yep, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Miss you so much. Okay. Thank you, Miss Han Trang, Steve, Bung, and Carlos. Now we get back to the presentation. Thank you. Absent. Go on, please.
Right, so hello everyone. First, from behalf of our team, let me say thank you for spending your time to attend this speaking day, because it really means a lot to us. So, welcome to our presentation. My name is Minh, and we are team absent, and among other team members of our team are Đình Thanh, Thùy, Hồng Phi, Tuyết Mai, and Eileen. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the timeline of our project, or in other words, how did we come up with our solution. So, first step of design thinking process is empathy. During this step, we tried to find the needs of our customers, and the next step was to define and narrow down our problem. So we asked ourselves, why is this problem so important that we need to solve it? After that comes the ideation phase, during which we brainstorm for possible solutions to the problem. And the first part is prototyping. In our case, it was low fidelity prototyping or paper prototyping, and medium fidelity prototyping, which we did using Figma. And finally, we conducted more interviews to gain feedback from customers to improve our design. So, as I mentioned previously, need finding was the first step of emphasizing. And we conducted interviews with 12 young parents, and you can see 3 examples of our participants on the slide. And after analyzing the data from interviews, we found out the needs of our customers. Examples of them are trustworthy information, reliable communication, mental health support, and convenience. And now we will continue our presentation talking about the problem that we chose to address.
Okay, thank you, Hiếu. And the problem we choose is postpartum depressions. Postpartum care is important because new moms are at risk of serious and something like threatened health complications after giving birth. Furthermore, most of the time they do not know that they have this condition. And next slide we show you the study. We did the research and found out that depending on the country, from 10 to 20% of parents are affected by postpartum depressions. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, every third mother is at risk. This high rate is due to traditional Asian abstinence practice, lack of knowledge and availability of mental health service for women after birth. And so let's talk about the benefit of postpartum care. Addressing this problem will significantly reduce faster recovery time after giving birth, allowing mother to power back quickly. The service can help to increase the overall enjoyment of motherhood. When moms are happier, baby will also happier. In addition, postpartum care is proven to lead to better meal supply, which will improve the health of the baby. And now can we talk about options for the solution?
And after deciding what problem we want to address, our team came up with 3 possible solutions. Firstly, it is a mobile application. As we all already know, apps are very convenient to use because you can access it at any time. Second solution is online courses, as they would help us to get direct contact with moms to understand more about them and help them to overcome the hard time after giving birth. And finally, a podcast. We think this option is very flexible because parents can listen to it and gain knowledge about many topics related to their problem while doing other stuff. And after many discussions, we thought that why won't we combine all our options into one solution? And that's how the mobile application Bama was created. And now then we'll talk about the details of our application.
Hello everyone, my name is Lin, and as were mentioned, our 3 possible solutions were the mobile application and the podcast, the online course, and we value the time of the young parents. That's why we wanted to make something unique that will be both educational, convenient, and flexible. So therefore, we decided to create a mobile application that can be accessed anytime from anywhere by our user. And this app includes 3 main functions that are blog, podcast, and online courses. So let's briefly talk about it. We'll work with the expert and the influencer to make the content for the podcast and classes. And the online class format is convenient for the parents because they can access it from home and they can register for classes that are suitable for their schedule. And from time to time, there will be the live stream that will be broadcasted, and the user will be able to watch and comment, or they can ask the question directly without purchasing a subscription to our app. And we think this feature will be great to attract more potential customer while bringing educational content to the young parents. And as for the podcast, they will be available in both video and the audio format. The host will be an influencer, and every episode will feature different guests, for example, like authors, influencer, or the expert. And there will be the variety of topic that will be discussed. For example, the topic about the mental health, the physical health, parenting, or the children education. We make the post on the social media pages that we inform the user about the topic of the upcoming podcast, and we will ask them to comment on a problem or a situation related to the mentioned topic. And at the end of each episode, there will be a segment where the host and the guest discuss of those issues, and they try to give advice or solution. And finally, our content creator will be able to post their stories, and they can share their experience on the blog page. So now we will continue with the design evolution and begin with the lo-fi prototype. Thank you.
Hi, my name is V, and I will talk about the lo-fi prototype. So the first step was creating a paper prototype and testing it on a few users. This was our decision because we thought that changes to the test prototype can be made on the go, and if a flaw in the flow is detected, it can be quickly replaced and tested with the same user. Moreover, users feel more comfortable in being critical and pointing out design problems. Now let's talk about the experiment. Two of the participants were chosen because they were mother, and our third participant was a young man that was chosen randomly because we wanted to get feedback and comments from a person that is not a parent. We make a prototype made up paper that you can see on our slide and put it in the iPad frame to imitate the real-life situation. We divided the group into different roles. One person was note-taking and observing, one person recorded, and one person was conducting the experiment. During this experiment, each participant performed four tasks. We were counting the time spent on each task, and we tried to interfere as little as possible to check if our design is intuitive enough for new users. Then we took notes of critical moments, and at the end of this experience, we asked participants to describe those moments and their feeling in detail. In overall, we are pleased about the result because we could get a lot of feedback that can potentially improve our design. Let's talk about the positive side. Firstly, our participants like that we used the paper prototype because it was like real-life situations. Another thing that pleased us was the time that was spent on each task was faster than we expected, and that's it probably because we highlighted the button that user can click. However, before the participants started to do the task, we noticed that there was a little delay. When we asked about it, they told us that they need time to observe and adapt to the design they never saw before. There was also some confusing moment because our icon and button were not clear enough. So Mike will continue to the medieval tab with Figma.
Okay, thank you, V. So after finishing the testing, the lo-fi prototype, we choose to design the Mephi prototype with Figma. So there are a lot of interface design tools to choose from, which support our work on every phase of the design process. But we end up with choosing Figma for several reasons. Firstly, Figma has a wide variety of available features, and moreover, this tool is very friendly with new users because of its intuitive interface. But however, Figma has many shortcomings that need to be overcome. And for example, we couldn't implement multiple interaction like swap or tap into one item. And in addition, Figma lacks training resources for new users. So those who use Figma for the first time might struggle and waste a lot of time finding tutorial videos. And as for the limitations of Figma, we couldn't implement the search function, and we also couldn't make an indicator on the side menu that shows which page users are using. And next, I will talk about the testing. After finishing the design of Bama app, we let some young parents that haven't participated in previous experiments and interviews have a try on it to see how they feel about our product. But most of them found it's very easy and convenient to use each part of the interface, and were excited about the podcast session that helps to expand the horizon of motherhood while taking up their children and saving a lot of time. And also they were happy to hear that they were able to learn more about psychology and what it takes to become a better mom in the blog session, which provides authentic information from experts. But they needed more than that. They wanted us to add the child care sessions to the Bama app because they were really stressed about not having the experience of being a parent for the first time. So next, here we talk about our future application.
Thank you, Mai. So now I'm going to talk about what we miss and what we should add in our application.
Hello, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's 12 minutes up. Okay, so thank you, team. Thank you for the very good start of today's pitch presentation. So I would like to invite our judge to give them some question or feedback, comment.
I guess I'm the veteran, so I guess I'll start. I think I'm the longest running judge, right?
You go ahead.
So you researched 12 people only, correct?
Yes. The first step of emphasizing was that we interviewed 12 participants, but after that, during the testing phase and after creating a low-fidelity prototype, we could interview, I think it was 20 or 25 more participants.
Okay. And how about competition? Have you looked at the competition?
Yes, we did.
And so what was your conclusion based on the competition?
So I think my teammate Eileen will answer this question.
Here, can you share the last slide of our competitor?
Yeah, sure.
As you can see here, the website known as the Vietnamese Women Forum, and these forums were set up to the purpose of sharing goods and practical knowledge and experience related to the family and the child care issue.
Sure.
Yeah, and so I think the competitive advantage, the first is we combine by using the content, we can collaborate with them and we get the content from them, and then we try to make the online courses, and we also offer the podcast for them because they have two format of the podcast, so it may reduce the the time for them to watch the video or listen to the podcast. Yeah.
Right. And so, who's the number one in the market out of all these the competition?
I would say the web chatter, because it's one of they have the section for models, such as like beauty or fashion categories, and yeah, they will like show their experience on there.
All right. Okay, so just so you know, so while you were talking, and you guys did a great job. I'm sorry, I should have started off by saying that. Your presentation was great. It was very clear. I thought even your slides actually were very clear and well thought out, and they flowed well. So I should have said that first. You guys did a great job with that part of it. And I love that you didn't read slides, and I'm glad that you had no spelling errors or grammar or punctuation errors, because in the past we've seen a lot of those, and it's good that you guys made sure that was clear and clean. My suggestion would be, in the time while you guys were speaking, I was doing research on my own phone. And there's actually a lot, in the US at least, there's a lot of competition. But what I found really interesting is, and it was specifically around postpartum depression, what I found really interesting was the apps weren't used, they weren't downloaded a lot. So then the question would be, are people willing to pay for what you're offering them? Because without people paying, you don't have a business. But again, you guys did a great job. It might be something you want to look at, though. But great job, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Hi everyone, it's Carlos. Thanks for that presentation. It was really great and insightful. In fact, that just brought me some memories, because my brother-in-law just had a baby girl, and I thought about postpartum depression since we're in the COVID context. And I'm not sure during your interviews if any insight came from that perspective. I noticed that you are posting 3 influencers, and one of them is a psychologist. And you found that during your interviews, you found that there was more interest in those and that kind of content. That means that there's a skew towards medical content, maybe. So have you given a thought about that, about including more medical content in that, or that will then, and how will that be a differential factor in your product?
Thank you so much for your question. So yes, we actually sought to add more medical content to our product because while we were interviewing 12 participants, we noticed that most of them struggled from postpartum depression, but in most cases they didn't even know about it. So our plan was to spread awareness about this problem, because as Hein said, not only, but 33% of young parents in Vietnam struggle from this problem. So yes, we will add more content related to medical problems.
All right. In that sense, that will be great. My only suggestion in that sense will be that this kind of apps are more looking for keeping the parents the sense of safety, the sense of being educated for their loved ones. And I'm pretty sure that in the end, everything from getting healthy themselves by doing some exercise, some workout, some yoga will be great, as much as knowing that whatever they're doing is great also for their babies. And so, well, thank you very much for thinking about that. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi guys. So thanks Steve and Carlos for already giving you guys the advice. So I can skip what part they already have commented. I think you guys have too unlucky that you guys have a little bit short time, so you can't actually present the whole prototype at the end. I think that's the most important. So maybe one of the tips is try to cut it short in the beginning when you are actually explaining on the progress. And then you can actually have more time to trying to showing the prototype how it's actually look like, because that's I think the most can proven whether the app gonna work. Actually around the world, if you do the search, you can actually find find it. And it's like something, yes, like Steve already mentioned, a lot of parents, they might not aware of the problem, and also they might not willing to pay for it because there are quite a few apps there that is actually free. But what you can do is thinking of, okay, you can create that kind of app and then maybe create the extra services that you can actually brought into the app, and where they can actually like an in-app purchase or buying extra things, so that they can willing to pay for like a premium price if they want to go through their postpartum periods a bit faster. In terms of the research story, like you have the number of the parents that you have interviewed may be a little bit less to actually give, because I saw in a slide you say the word is the percentage is 10 to 20% people are like of the parents that getting the postpartum, but in Vietnam it's 30%, and I don't see where the source is from. This is something that you might have to kind of like clarify the source of the data, and also because I think that in a foreign country actually this problem even worse compared to Vietnam. Vietnam actually the parents have much more help from the their parents, like the grandparents. So so there are many other kind of symptoms there. So you can actually show that the number of the market, the potential of the market, so that you can actually give kind of more evidence for your idea. Regarding the process, I can see you guys use only few tasks, which is like login, register, and things like that. Maybe try to use some more. The task that you're gonna test for prototype is like, for example, seeing the exercise or viewing the profile of the the influencer and things like that. This is more relevant task to test rather than just the basic kind of step like logging or register, because that's actually like a basic thing where you don't really need test from the user to see the app is better or not. Similarly, in the process, when you say prototyping using Figma, I think Figma is the tool where it has the most available resource to train on. So when you say the disadvantage is you can't find the tutorial when you use Figma, is actually not correct. So I think that's something where maybe when we try to present, I think you can concentrate on the result rather than only the pro and cons of the tool or the method, because it can be showing whether it may be because of the process that we do when we use might not might not be like thoroughly, so that you can actually find because Figma right now is actually a very good tool for designing quickly and also generating the prototype faster. With the lo-fi prototype, I would recommend another tool like Whimsical, which can help you to do the prototype lo-fi very fast and easy to actually for the user to see as well. But overall, I think your team have done a great job in presenting in English, and everything is very clear. I would love to actually be able to see how the prototype looked like on the last minute, but I guess maybe because you guys lack off of that few minutes in the beginning of the introduction of the judge. So yeah, but anyway, well done in think of this idea, because I think this is something in the Vietnam market we definitely need something like this.
Thank you so much for your feedback. And I think we showed our prototype in the middle of our presentation. There was a short 1-minute video.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bong, do you have any question or advice for them?
I think that we ran out of time, but I just want to congratulate all the team who did a great job. I think that you have to proud of yourself. So if we have some like last seconds, I just want you to finish on the slide that you have to skip because of the time, so you can show on the preparation to the audience.
Thank you, Mr. Bong. We still have 3 minutes for the Q&A section, so please go ahead, team.
So actually we only have one slide, so I'll start. So now I'm going to talk about what we miss and what we should add in our application. And one of the things that PAMA currently lacks is versions of other languages. So our team will try to implement a translation into the application. And also in the future, we have a plan to use AI integration in our application, which can help us to collect data from users and experts, then analyze it, and from that we can change and create better products for our users. So we created this app targeting Vietnamese parents because, as you may know, most people in our country lack the knowledge about psychology and mental health. So postpartum depression is usually ignored. That's the reason why we need to come up with educational strategies to spread awareness about psychological problems, as well as give them this knowledge. And after all, we believe that in the future, not only the physical health, but also mental health of Vietnamese people can and should get better. Thank you so much for your attention.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Team Action. You did very good job. Great start for our presentation today. And thank you, Church, a lot. So we have a lot of experts in the field. So you receive a lot of the very useful feedback. So thank you, Church, a lot. Great job, Action. So I would like to invite the next team, Team Ahmed. Please go ahead.
Thank you.
You have 12 minutes to present.
Do you see my slide?
Yes. Please go ahead.
So,
and the team.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor of us to be here amongst you to present for this distinguished audience. So, do you know that the amount of trash in Vietnam has increased 46% from the year 2010 to 2019, according to a report on waste management, and a report that issued by Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources noted that the amount of plastic waste every day has increased about 46% from 44,000 tons into 64,000 tons a day in the year 2019. So what is to exist? And the people nowadays have to face a problem that they have to live with trust. So to minimize this problem, our purpose is to create a compostable bag that can eliminate the amount of trash that's waste every day.
Hello, team. Are you presenting? We cannot hear anything. Please check your.
Okay. So now we'll produce our products briefly. MS is a home compostable food bag that biodegrades in a natural setting. And now we will be talking about the problem we are trying to solve. 1/3 of our waste is food and organic waste, and it cannot decompose when it is wrapped in plastic bag. So it creates smell and creates some health problem of the residents living around the landfills. By empathizing and interviewing, we realize this problem, and IMS has a solution. Our product is eco-friendly and economical alternative to plastic bag.
So from the problem that we encounter and empathize from the resident there, we decided to create AMET. AMET is a biodegradable bag in a natural setting, and it can solve the problems of smell blocked in a plastic bag. To have our design evolution, we come up with our empathy map, which come from our process of empathizing people, and we have a lot of problems that we need to solve, and we encounter a lot of them. So we come up with the first low 5 on drawing, and as you can see that the product is still new, and we created quite similar to the product that already have on the market. And then this is our test our product to, and then we test them with several participants. Due to COVID-19, one of the participants have to be our member group because we cannot find the people on the street. And after the testing process, we have our feedback, and Hân will discuss about it.
So the first feedback is about the bag is not strong enough for part is strong, and the ability to reduce the smell is not good, and the customer are done with bag, then they can start composing process. So we have some little change in the design of products. First is about the design of the bag. We have removed the handle so that the bag can be more compact and stronger for the users. And on the top of the bag, there will be a elastic band to tie the mouth of the bag. The next change is about the logo. We realized that our logo has been used by many other brands, so we changed the logo. It's about the bringing the green to the earth from the little things. And the final is the bag ability to absorb odors. They are we have added the lanyard to limit the smell from escaping, and at the bottom of the bag we added the small bag that look like the resistor. But inside we put the coffee ground to absorb the smell better. And this is my products.
So one of the most commonly used composter bag methods is the reduction of the carbon footprint. Unlike regular plastic, our composter bags use minimal carbon during the manufacturing process. Regular plastic bags are produced from oil and can create 4 tons of emissions, while our composter bags emit a minimum of 0.8 tons of carbon. So when non-composter plastic bags are discarded, they are simply picked into landfills where they will remain for hundreds of years, and rather than using this piece of land for farming food or building some creational park for youngsters, this land is solely accustomed to don't waste the growing amount of space reserved for landfills. Instead, these absorbed by the soil, humus, or compost, because they are truly biodegradable.
Next, I will present about market size. As we all know that humans have many needs such as eating, drinking, entertainment, everything to serve human life, but all of that create garbage. Therefore, the market size of our
project is very large, almost the entire population of nearly 7.8 billion people needs a product to handle garbage. According to the World Bank, there are many illegal dump sites that serve about 4 billion people and hold more than 40% of the waste worldwide. So we will target these people first to handle the illegal waste that affect the living environment. The following sessions, I will talk about the business model. There are 4 main parts that make up our business model. The first is key activities. We choose online and offline distribution channels to connect with shoppers. Regarding to the online channel, we choose popular websites such as Shopee, Amazon, so that users can easily buy our products with one click. About offline channel, we choose supermarket and local store to reach local customer. Next is the key partner to promote. We cooperate and use social networks like Facebook and Instagram. The third one is the most important part. It's the key resource. We need resource and labor to operate the products of our products. And the last part is customer relationships. We always create similarities between ourselves and our customer. We all want to improve the environment. In addition, for the loyal customer, there will be VIP policies with many promotions.
So next, I will talk about growth opportunities in the next 5 years. Realizing the dangerous problem of plastic bags, many countries have come up with solutions and switched to using eco-friendly biological bags. In Vietnam, with the goal of protecting the environment and towards the green, clean, and beautiful society, we produce biodegradable products according to the Japanese trend system and supply them as on supermarkets, large nationwide, such as Big C, Vinmart, or Circle, and will definitely dominate the market. So, in order to control plastic bags that have an impact on the environment, according to the process approved by the Prime Minister by 2020, it is necessary to reduce 65% of the amount of non-biodegradable bag waste in supermarkets and commercial centers and reduce about 50% of plastic bags. This is considered a new step forward for our biobag development in the next 5 years. Our products will definitely be appreciated by consumers as it is an unprecedented product in the market. So thanks for listening.
All right. So thank you, Ahmed. Actually, you still have 1 minute, so very good at managing time. Okay, so I would like to invite the judges to give some question or feedback.
I would like to start if the other judges don't mind about it. Mainly because this idea, I loved it from the beginning when I read it about it for the first time, that Miss Thuy sent me some description. I loved it. And I think when we look at the scope of your project, we're talking about landfills. First thing that comes to my mind is a vulnerable population, and that poses great benefits as well as great challenges. On the benefit side, what I liked about your presentation was the empathy matrix. If we could come up with, if you could show it again, I think it's great that you were able to analyze this from a matrix perspective, and at the same time, I got worried about what you talk about the market size. I'm sorry, and your business model. So that's what I would like to ask you. I think I would have loved to hear more about the distribution challenges that you will face in these vulnerable areas. I mean, I think the market size is pretty big. From my perspective, I understand that probably that many people are being affected by the problem that you're addressing here. However, it's too big to target that many people using your bag. So here I have two questions then for you. First, how difficult will it be to produce the bags that you're in your prototype to address the distribution problems that you will face? And secondly, how about the education part, in which how are you going to address these people to understand the importance of this and to accept the use of your product?
Okay, thank you for your questions. I think the one thing that is difficult for us to produce is that very little materials exist because it's degradable, and it's just hard to design the lifespan of this product because if it's sometimes it's quite easy because we want to make sure that until you use it, it lasts and is strong, as doesn't pull fast. But at some points when you are done with this, you can start the decomposing process. So designing is very difficult, and so these products are still very experimental and exotic, we reckoned. And the second question of you I was asked, I want to answer that.
Sorry, was someone going to say anything, or? Okay, no, it's fine. Yeah, there's definitely some supply chain challenges that you will have in producing and mass producing for your market size, especially with this kind of materials. And I will have loved to see more details about that supply chain, how it would look like. Not only going to the supermarkets in near the area, probably you would like to do something more local, more focalized on those vulnerable areas. Maybe that's what you would like to give a thought about. But thank you very much. I mean, I think you made it plainly clear in the 12 minutes you had, and it was a great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah, I agree with Carlos. You guys did a great job. And I have to also agree with Carlos that when I saw what you guys were presenting, I was super excited because no offense to the app companies, but I think over the last 3 judgings I've done, it's all been apps. So I was like, yes, finally, not another app. But again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the guys creating apps because there's needs for apps. But finally, someone was thinking a little bit differently. But also, I love the fact that you guys were thinking about how can we improve the world, right? And humanity. And for me, that's a big passion. So kudos, praise to you guys for doing that. And you're using nanotechnology, right? You're using silica as the material, right? And your business model is, I respectfully say, I think your business model is very flawed. I think because, silica is actually in small quantities very expensive. You have to, if you're going to mass produce where you actually get to start reducing the cost of your manufacturing, that means you have to make a lot of molds. I've made a lot of molds and they're expensive and then they wear out and you have to buy more molds. So I think anytime I see someone becoming profitable in the very beginning as a new startup, I have red flags everywhere. So again, I agree with Carlos. You should look at the business model. I think the other, it's interesting. 36 days ago, I was finally able to come back to the U.S. Right, I was stuck in Vietnam, which is not a bad place to be stuck. I know it's tough for you guys now, but for some reason, I haven't really experienced COVID in Vietnam or the U.S. because I've missed it in both places. But it's interesting that the whole issue around bags in the U.S. because if I want to use a bag, I have to pay for it in every store I go. And I hadn't seen that before. Not only that, they're using paper bags or biodegradable bags. And I think your biggest challenge to get people to adopt it, aside from awareness, which is difficult, changing behavior, is also the regulation, getting the government to force people to start using biodegradable bags. Not only that, but also, to create awareness so your generation and everyone after you guys sees the benefit. Because I've been in a lot of places in Vietnam. I've lived there 14 years. There's a lot of plastic bags all over the place and bottles, right? So it's really, I think the biggest challenge is the awareness and getting the regulators, the government, to actually change policy around plastic and bags and pollution. But again, thank you for showing me something different than an app, and thank you for the way you looked at it and approached it and came up with a great solution to tackle a huge global problem. So good job, you guys.
Thank you, Steve. Really inspiring. And Miss Ràng and Mr. Bung.
So hi team, this is Bung. I think that you did an excellent job. I agree with Steve that nowadays finding something different than application is so exciting for us. I have one comment and two questions. The comment is the same with the other judges. Is about your business model. I think you have to work out more on that, such as when you say, okay, you do the e-commerce in Shopee and Amazon, then it's like huge difference between two platforms. And as well as say, go to the supermarket and local markets. I mean, you cover everywhere in the market. So you have to find your niche and the road to market strategy. So I have two questions. Because of the problem you try to tackle is different and unusual. So I think the teamwork and the decision-making process have to be different. So how you work together as a team and what is your decision-making process? Secondly, I want to learn more about the questionnaires when you asking the experiments, the tester for the first round, because when you receive the feedback, only two things you think that you can improve is the logo, the brand, and the size of the thick of the bag. I think it's not enough, so I want to learn more about your questionnaires. Thank you.
Hi guys, I think that on the good point the judge already had said. It's good to actually have some kind of product that is not like like a digital product, and this is really important for the environment. However, I just want to ask something that for the competitors, have you actually researched for the current competitor in the market? Is my first question. Do you know that if there are out there that are actually any manufacturer for this kind of bag? Because with the bag, and once they already set up the manufacturer, right, they can actually reach the same kind of market size that you have, and then what is your strategy on trying to compete with them on that? And another thing is, I think that with this kind of products I think the most important thing is the R&D process. Right? And do you have any plan on the process of actually making this one into a real product, like a feasibility of this idea? Have you already tested or think of the planning ahead?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you for your question. Since before you there are already two questions, but I'm gonna answer your question first. So about the competitors, we are really aware that there are a lot of them on the available markets, and they already made it for several years now. So I believe that they already have their own company, their firms, and their factory. However, their
ways of having their supply chain and their produce costs is very high. So when the product actually reach the market, it has very high costs. I searched on the internet and most of them range around from 150 to $200,000 per less than 50 bags. So I can see the potential that we can compete because our raw materials are very cheap to buy. But the disadvantages that we have is that our mold is very limited and we only can produce 1 or 2 at the same time. So we cannot compete with its pace compared to other competitors. And if you're saying about the feasibility, then we can make it. However, it will very hard to make it to corner the market because as I mentioned before, it take a very long time to do it, and the limited mold also limit us to actually have more product to sell. Did I cover your question?
Yeah, because I think that's what I reckon in the way that because, for example, the design process is for the bag, the lo-fi and things like that. I think that it's a design for the bag visually, but actually the most important thing is the material, how we actually can create the bag. And because of that, it's gonna because you have done a little bit of the market size slide there, the business model there, but what is need to be also analyzed is the canvas model, right, where you can have this cost structure. And definitely to produce why other competitor, big company, they already have done it and the cost still high. I guess it's because of the ability to produce something like this in a lower cost is not that simple. So this is something we can have to test feasibility. So the idea is great, but then there are going to be a lot research and analysis on the cost, in terms of the R&D process and how to actually be able to produce in the mass amount to be able to, because you have a target user is 4 billion. And if you can't actually produce that many of them, then I don't think you can actually have the feasibility there for the product. So that's something you can think of. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there are still 2 questions raised by Mr. Bung, but you have only 30 seconds left, so try to answer one of these 2 questions.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to answer the decision-making question. Because this is a physical product, so our process of making decision is kind of different. So the first thing we don't have a official group leader. We kind of choose the one that have the most experience and also the one that is most confident, because our last group leader is kind of shy. She cannot make her decision very clearly. So we decided to who have the most experience and who can help us grow, then we will let that person to be the leader. And we also with different section we will have different people to discuss and analyze more. Like we have, for example, we need to analyze the market, then we have one person to focus more on that. And we don't interrupt that person until they have the result, give it to us, so that that person will have more faith and they will do it better. Thank you for your question.
All right. So yeah, it's time's up. So thank you so much, Ahmed, Team Ahmed. And thank you, the judges, for a lot of the concerns and advice that you raised regarding the technical issue, the awareness, behavioral, all kind of question, business model. Amazing. Thank you so much. And I would like to invite the next team, the Moon. The Moon, you can go ahead. Yeah, and a very gentle reminder to our judges that we would like to collect the score at the end of our section. So I know you are so into the presentation, but also make sure to give us the evaluation. Thank you very much. And the Moon, you have 12 minutes. You can start anytime you are ready.
Okay, so hello everyone. We're gonna start our presentation today. So okay, this is my story. This is me at 2 a.m. this morning. I'm nervous, of course, and I'm stressed. Yes, absolutely. I know what makes me stressful. Could you see what I saw on the YouTube? Skill of humor, Stephen Jobs, best elevator pitch in the world. Am I smart? Because, you know, some people are shaking for nothing, and even they know the reason. Somehow they couldn't find a solution immediately. But I can. Straightforward solution and quick action. So I am smart. And the second screen, this is also me at 4 a.m. this morning. Okay, so TikTok and a smart girl is searching the best eye cream by watching YouTube video at 4 a.m. this morning. And that's the way a smart can live. Why? Why I couldn't slap my phone down? I'm done with my stress, I'm done with my problem, but why keep watching the useless thing at useless time? So please take the question and please go with us through our project, The Moon.
Thanks. Let's go through first main phases of our project, which are the first is appetite and design. The next stage is idea. The third is prototype, and the last is testing. At the first stage, after defining our similar problem cannot leave home or sleep, we carry out an in-depth interview through a wide range of interviewees with teenagers between 18 to 20, accounting for 50% and 50% of early and major adults having joined our webinar. We try not only aging but also type of jobs, such as the officer, seller, student, even shippers were also taken in this initial stage. After the interview, key findings were collected and entered on the empathy map. Later on, we had a lot of debate and even came up with 30 how might we question. At the time pressure comparison, we choose our vision is how might we help user least form positive without inhibition.
And really quickly, we came out up to 3 possible solutions, including sleep pillows, tracking apps, and a Facebook community. Each lo-fi prototype simply expressed no more than one or two functions, which means it was designed to serve 2 to 3 pens among 7 popular pens we collected. So once again, we print those 2 texts on our previous as well as new interviewees to observe whether it can erase their pens or not, or somehow. Though it was our initial oriented products, we even thought of the way how we can make a real pillow before we texting, but it costs a fare upon our user, so we have no joy except leaving it. Next slide, please. And also, new complaints happen with the tracking apps. A user accidentally wake up in the midnight and cannot go to sleep again, watching phones for a little bit or for a while. Who knows? So there is no commitment in there. And problem also happens with community. So I enjoyed this community with a very first thought that I'm gonna get some amazing tips for my sleep. But then users turn to watch live stream inconsistently. So it really hurt to say goodbye to Facebook. After receiving those feedback, we analyzed and decided that our final solution is a combination of a tracking app and a separated community.
Hi, thanks, Nhi. So let me illustrate the structure of our app through the low fee, mid fee, and high fee. First of all, our low fee start with only 4 basic functions along with TikTok. Now moving to MATFeed, please. After receiving feedback from tester, the gesture are changed into touching. The profile function is a break between user now can swipe with Facebook. We also add a crazy experiment, which is banning entertaining apps from in the sleep mode function. We literally dare to move out of our comfort zone as far as possible. So the hi-fi one, we create several more new functions based on the need and personal favorite of customers, especially the activity which is also build sleep habits. There's a true fact that humans are basically just human. Psychologically, we cannot immediately force them to do what they don't like to. So that's why we create many catchy activities that help users to improve their sleep as well as help us gain more credibility. So the separated forum is also a place where customers can share their stories, tricks, and interact with each other. Customer now can motivate and be motivated.
Thanks, Nguyễn. Moving to the evolution, what happened at the low-fee design? Gesture and teacher challenge are too pretty attractive to young people, but they are too complicated for the middle-aged and the old people, so we leave it. Therefore, on the MATFeed design, we got some new function. However, our user want to have static about the sleep quality, but the user has a doubt about what is the standard sleep time for them and it is useful. Moreover, they expect them to have more function and useful tool because they think our app look like all the tracking app, nothing special. At the end, high-fee design, we change to set the goal with the doctor advice. That is customized based on the health condition and the work status of the user. Moreover, we got a climbing fund. Have you heard about that? I bet to bet. Next is the part of you.
Yes, hello everyone. So now I will talk about the Wizard of techniques and also some hard-coded features of our app, our mobile application. So first, let's come to so this is the how I will display in this part. So I will talk about the features and some description on the left part of the screen, and also on the right part of the screen I will show a video of a demo and our prototype for you to see and understand it. Come to the first features. So our new user login. So we will introduce a personal QR code and also numerical code after filling in information form. Although now we are created by ourselves, but after that we will create it automatically by machines. And next is the code authentication for login user. So now we are using like the animation effect to log into the app. And come to the second function. So with appropriate doctor advice for each user, we'll collect sleep health data and also work with doctor to produce suitable advice and suitable sleep time for each user. So this will be very efficiently because we work with doctors who are very great at this field. Come to the third one is our forum execution. So here we act like a social network. We have new posts, we have up and down function to rate posts to flow up for user to see, and also we have user ranking and promotion. So this will be very hard-coded features, and we will execute a whole forum. And come to the next function. We really like this, and also some of my teachers really recommend this because it's very interesting. It's the gambling activities. So to make the sleep more comfortable and more interesting and encourage people to come to sleep easily, we connect with some healthy sleep challenge with animation, promotion, rewards, vanity points for people to bet for their bedtime. And next, healthy challenges. So you know, a healthy sleep is not just only about go to sleep early, but it's about creating healthy habit sleep. So we collect and display tutorial video for people to follow, like meditation or reading something or easy warm up before sleep. so people will feel more easy to go to sleep early. And then this is the most important function, the sleep mode. So we will compare with the user goal and we turn on the sleep mode each time the user agree. So we will ban all other applications except SMS and phone calls for emergency situation. In this case, we will restrict the user from using other app, and then they will come to sleep with the help of the phone rather than leave the phone with inhibition. So the whole project we design and prototype with Figma, Photoshop, and Illustrator. There are some advantages and disadvantages, but the main point here is that we work in group and we overcome it together, and then we have a really interesting prototype. You can test it in the QR code in the poster. So now the summary part. Thank you.
In the summary, if we have more time, we expect to create more functions such as the Tinder Moon or the customize, which can make our user experience better. And finally, have a good thing about the design thinking course, which has us to get deeper into critical thinking and the startup process. At the end, we got a good member. The chemistry and the mood of our team is always positive. I believe that we all gain a lot of life lesson for the whole journey. Once again, thank you VNUK, cô Hương, cô Thủy, and thầy Vũ for the meaningful lesson, for the meaningful course. Thank on trust for your representation today, and thank you on classmate and on my team member. Thank you very much. Let's take our app to this QR code if you are interested. And last sentence, please appreciate your sleep to protect your health. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for a lot of the thank you. And I would like to welcome Churches. Very beautiful slides.
So this is Bung. I want to go first because I'm using Cipro sleep application, and I get involved with some sleep company as well as the pillow and bed producers in Ho Chi Minh City. Firstly, I think that you take over for like this time is like huge problem of the people in terms of sleeping quality. So the first question is what type of sleep app that you think that is a competitors. I think that they have the competitor landscape, not only like putting down the name. Secondly, I want to learn more about, you said in the slide that you have the user building their sleeping habit. So what exactly that the sleep habit that you have in your hand? Thirdly, I think in terms of design thinking process, it's quite easy to add more and more features, but the difficult is how to eliminate and say no with new feature, new function, because you have to keep your app simple. So why you keep adding and how many features, how many functions that you put it away. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for your 3 questions. So the first question about our current competitor on the market. So we do have some searching about that before. So here on our screen is some major competitors, and beside that there is also SleepPix apps. So the significant point in here is that some apps is doing really good at tracking apps, like what time you're going to sleep or what time you wake up, and they set a perfect schedule for them, for the user. And especially the SleepPix apps that the currently apps on the market, they do really good on the animation. I mean the UI design is really attractive people over there. So that is some of the part of competitor that we have to take into account when we conduct our ad. And so our key importance of our app is that mostly the apps right now is just based on the user, but the key point of our app function is we have the banding function, which means like kind of a commitment between the user and the app. Like at a time when you click on the person, ban the app, so it means that you're not gonna have the right to join into all the application except the SMS and the call that come to you in urgent. So, and for the second question, like what kind of challenges we have to form the habit of the user, we're gonna have to do that question.
So for the habit challenge, sorry, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. Just a problem with the computer. So for the habit challenge, we plan to have several challenges which will benefit your sleep, such as like meditating or reading books, because we believe that before you go to sleep, if you do several activities which sort of like help you to go to sleep easier, benefit your sleep, you can sort of like go to sleep easier, just like feel a bit dizzy, and then sort of like easy to go have a deep sleep and really have a good sleep. So that's our answer. Thank you.
I think someone is speaking and then it's not. Okay. Hi, can I guess it's Steve and Marcus has been sorry, yes, so maybe let me just to the second one. I think that what you guys have done very well, I think, is the whole presentation process is very smooth from the beginning when you raise the issue, what you try, the problem, what you try to solve, and the process is very clear, very nice, because I think most of the important in here also is the prototype for our judge to actually put on. And I think that with the prototype, you guys have done really well in presenting the whole flow of the app, and it's quite a lot of feature there you guys are trying to design and build. So I think that you guys have done a great job in teamwork, trying to bring up with that kind of like prototype. Another good thing is I think that your app is with the design, I think you guys are targeting the young people, right? And it's different from the middle-aged people like me, like us, and the young people is what to attract people actually trying to sleep early, forming the good habit, because I'm sure most of you guys here sleeping very late, like 12, 1 a.m., sometimes 2, 3 a.m. And so many times in my company, I have to ask people sleep early, but they don't really want to do so. It's just because there's no fun in sleeping early. They have a lot of other things that they can do at nighttime. So one of the good things I can see in the idea is actually creating something more interesting to forming like a community, or maybe the gamification feature is very tailored for the young age. Because otherwise, if you do that for the middle-aged people, I don't think that people are going to buy the app or use the app. So it's something you can actually target on, just to show that your target customer is on what age and what is their liking. And that is where your app actually bringing the competitive advantage, or something that a little bit different from other sleeping app. Because other app is very simple. They're gonna kind of like focusing on like a simple design with a more kind of like meditating kind of feeling. But I think your app is very, very like a gaming kind of app. So definitely the target user have to be like different. And that is something that you should actually put in the presentation to try to show that this is the target user, and this is their behavior and liking, and this is why you target it like that way. because that is the standing point of your app. I do want this app to be actually, you can actually test it, because if you do the testing and you can give it to young people, to see whether they are actually liking this one, and to test whether it's really gonna be a useful app for encouraging people forming a good habit. And I think that is really meaningful in the future, because that is something we find that actually the habit, like sleeping early or sleep well, and kind of like having a mindfulness, things like that. Young people now do not realize how important it is. So well done on trying to do something a little bit different.
I would like to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, Carlos, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Steve. So thank you, Mr. Chang. We really appreciate your comment and recommendation. Also, we answer about your questions. So the target user here, we choose young people, right? But we do test and interview with many group of ages to find out which will be like the suitable customer for our app. And we find out that even although our apps, there are many functions for young people to join in, but it's really like there is a small part for middle-aged and older people, because people tell us that they need tutorial for meditating and also some easy warm-up before they sleep. So we do put it in the challenge. People can come to the challenge part to do just very easy tutorial to meditate, or to do easy warm-up, or to read 10 or 20 pages of book before they go to sleep. So it will help them to sleep easier, because after a whole working day at the company, they will feel very tired, and we will help them at that part. Also, we have a sleep health forum, and people, I think that we select appropriate posts on that forum, and also the up and down function will make the healthy and useful posts to pop up from the start part of the forum, so people will read it and follow the instruction from the post. So the two key features for middle-aged and older people is that the forum and the challenges for them. And thank you for your questions. And come to questions of Mr. Boom. We have one more questions of Mr. Boom to answer. So he asked us that what is the difficulty of removing function, because it's easy to add more and more function to make the app more interesting. It's right that it's easy to add more function to make our app interesting, but we do really abandon many functions. For example, from the very first part, we decided to use the gestures part of mobile phone, which means we use gestures like TikTok challenge to control the app. But after interview, what people want to use the touch function more because they feel difficult to use the gesture to control the app, we abandon the TikTok and abandon the gestures feature. Also, come to the second part that we create a forum, because we think that the community on Facebook might be very distract people from going to sleep, because they might be online and they chat with friends and also read comments and more. So we abandon the Facebook connection for community. We create a separate forum for people to share only the sleep health habit, and it also in our control that we can turn off the forum when it's time to go to sleep according to the goals. And also we have abandoned we can use many different challenges, but we abandoned during the lesson because the teacher had recommend us to reduce them. So thank you, Mr. Bung Chang, for adding very interesting question. And yes, I remember that Steve, you have some questions for us, right?
Carlos, you go ahead, Carlos. You go first. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I'll keep it short, guys. I mean, let's see. From a presentation perspective, I would just like to add to what the judges have said, that I love the story introduction. I think you guys design a very strong connection with your audience throughout the story. I think it's the first story we had in this competition, and it's always a good way to introduce the problem and to actually make you feel that it's going to be useful in the end, whatever solution you're going to propose. That said, once you get to the moon, I don't see it like the app that will make good habit on me. It's probably going to keep me more busy during the night, and I'm not sure. Maybe because of the gaming. Try and mention it. I felt it more like a gaming app, like something that young people will do, and maybe if you tackle some other people in your audience, then maybe they're not going to find it as useful to make a good habit on them. So that is. I'm not sure if there's any insight that came up during your interviews about that, and on how how difficult it was for the people to understand it and to actually commit to the commit to the activities that you were proposing. But in any case, I think it was a great presentation in any case, because I got the idea, everything, and keep with the story introductions, because it's a powerful way to connect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you guys did a great job. I think the presentation and, again, the way you described the problem and the pain points and the solution were great. I actually think it works well I'm sorry, but I'm not middle-aged, I'm older. And so I'm ready to go to sleep. So it worked perfectly for me. The one thing I have, my friend Bung, who I haven't seen in a long time, it's good to see him on here, but like, one thing I think I don't agree with is that every app I see in Southeast Asia is like a super app, and it has way too much going on. And like going from like Grab in Southeast Asia to coming back home to seeing Uber, like Uber's got 4 functions, and it's basically 4 things that I would need. But I look at Grab and it's so overly functional that you get lost. So I think simplicity, Steve, think about Apple, think about those types of design thinking people. It's about simplicity, because if you give too much stuff to people, or too many functions or features or whatever, they're going to get lost, and they really don't have time to use all of them. So I would really try to figure out what are the most important functions that people want to use. Otherwise, they're not going to use it. And honestly, I think the worst thing, and I see it every day because I've been in technology a long time, is people just build technology for technology's sake, and they're not really thinking about the user and the user experience. And it's a huge problem I see everywhere, almost my whole career. The other thing I would look at is like, I understand that it's most likely for younger generations. Again, I'm old, Chang, everyone else is a little bit middle. I need to find ways to disconnect from my phone, right? I need to find ways to disconnect from my phone so I can sleep. I'm so deep in my technology that my brain doesn't have time to shut off from technology long enough to relax, to go to sleep. So the gamification is great, but for me, I'd be like, wow, I'm going to play this game all night long because I want to beat everyone else, right? It's more about the calming effect. And, maybe you want to put like mail order drug delivery in there where you could get like sleep drugs or something. I'm kidding. But, it's don't make it too much. But I think you guys did a really good job. I mean, sleep apnea is a massive problem globally. And it would be awesome if we could see you guys actually tackle that problem.
Yes, okay, thank you very much. We really highly appreciate it with all of your recommendations. And we yes, definitely will carry on and carry out some more with our interviewees. Yes. So that's the time for our presentation.
Yep. So thank you, the Moon. Thank you so much, the Moon, for a beautiful and a very smooth presentation. So welcome, Florista. And again, thank you, churches, for a lot of advice from different perspectives. It's beautiful to have you here. And welcome, Florista. You have 12 minutes to go.
So, do you guys hear me clearly?
Yes. Please share.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm Anne, and I'm from Team Florista. Well, firstly, yes, our appreciation because of the changes can meet the inspiring persons, people here, and we hope that we will have a wonderful time together. Well, my Team Florista have members. They are Hương Ly, Gia Khánh, Nguyên Nhi, Hoàng Giang, Tuấn Dũng, and me, Thiên An. So today our team would like to introduce you our design thinking project, which is answer the question, how may we help the children reduce the stutter and lift disorder? Well, our presentation includes 3 main parts, which is a problem, solution, and our next steps. Well, talking about our problem, well, we focusing on the children aged between 5 and 8 years old who are facing with the stutter and lip disorder. Well, why we choose this problem? We find that most parents are not really concerned about this problem, and however, it can cause a lot of consequences to the children futures if they cannot cure this disease properly. Well, moreover, we think that when we can focus on a small aspect of the society and solve it successfully, well, we can have the changes or creating a big things to the society. Well, talking to our statistics, after we interview 12 people, we find that there are 3 out of 15 children who are facing with the pronunciation impairment. Well, about the after we analyze all the raw data, and we decided to focus on the parent who is non-experienced and having the children are facing with the pronunciation problem. Well, we find that they need a solution that does not need a direction supervision, and it could be a game changing when we can make them feel less guilty when they cannot always be their children's size and help them cure this kind of disease. Well, there are some quotes that inspired. I am worried about my kids' issue, but I have no time to find a solution for this for the problem. Another one, we do not consider pronunciation impairment as a serious issue because we believe that this problem can be cured automatically in the future. Well, we come up with our top how may we, which is our mission. How may we have children improve pronunciation impairment and also change the problem into an opportunity to enhance the connection between parents and their children? Well, next part led by Hương Ly.
So thank you, Anh. So good morning, everyone. My name is Lee, and after emphasizing the needs and the insights of our customers, we would like to provide our children a smart teddy bear with 4 useful functions, and all these things will be represented in the screen that located in the bear chest that you can see. And moreover, the beta application is for parents that they can use to keep track of the children's performance during the treatment process. And the reason why we chose this solution is firstly, our target user are children, and we think like forcing children to follow a course or a therapy is really difficult. And also, beta is really attractive and friendly with kids, therefore they can have fun with it. Moreover, parents can easily understand the process and guide the children use the bear effectively. And from our expectation, we hope our product can reach more parents and will become more reliable for the users. Importantly, our target can feel entertained and relaxed during the time of the treatment. Continuing is our design process. At the beginning, we just draw what we think and make it like a paper sketch. We use the empathy map to list our ideas on the board. And to the medium file prototype, we use the Photoshop to imagine properly about how our products look like. And the final part is the high file prototype. We kind of know exactly what we do and make a real product. That's why we have a table that compares 3 different processes that we use. By getting feedback from our lecturer and customers, we upgraded our products day by day and kind of be a perfect one by adding adjustable language and advices from experts. So moving to our key features of beta, we divide it into the 4 most important elements that we will concentrate on. They are communication, game, process, and the support from experts. So moving on is the technology that we use that led by Yang. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Yang, and now I am introducing you the system we apply into the beta. That is CNN, or we call convolutional neural network. For definition, CNN is currently one of the most advanced deep learning models. It has to build a smart system with the highest accuracy. It is often used for image, objects, and visual recognition. The reason why we use CNN is this network has been explored for natural language processing. CNN models are effective for various NLP problems. And it also has achieved excellent results in converting natural language into something that the machine can understand. To simply describe how CNN works, we can say that with this system in beta, it will work to convert the big file to image that CNN can understand, and CNN will scale and pass so that every file will have the same size. From that, it will work with them and export the audio. And now we move to the next part, user interface.
Good morning, my name is Dũng. In the user interface part, I would like to present task 1, which is using the base elements to improve pronunciation. There are 4 main functions: communication, storytelling, game, and sensing. For the storytelling part, the bear will tell the children about folk stories that they can familiarize themselves with words. In addition, they can do a challenge to sing a song with better singers. Moving to task 2 is the data transfer progress. When parents push a button behind a bear, the data is automatically transferred to the app. For task 3, it's presented by Nhi.
So hello, my name is Nhi, and now I want to clarify that the special thing that helps the children treatment process using beta become clear and more reliable is the beta app. This app acts like a bridge between beta and parents. In the app, parents can find a book library that matches with the storytelling function of beta bears, because we know that nobody can understand the preferences of each individual children more than their parents, and our team also understands that parents usually have the need to control what their children listen to or read. This is also the same with the song list that matches with the singing function of beta. Furthermore, our team is concerned that although our user for the bear is our children, the one who will pay the money to buy the bear is their parents, obviously. So we try our best to show parents that beta is useful by having the feature of sending data to parents in the app for them to easily catch up and see the improvement of their children. After surveying users in many different versions of beta, bear, and app, our team has proudly drawn some good points as follows. Talking to experts on beta apps, which have increased the reliability, process feature which analyze the individual data to follow the children treatment, function for children to cure their issues as well as entertain, and there are many options to choose on the bear to prevent children from getting bored or feeling like having a poor treatment. However, there are still some points that needs improving, like the confusion because of too much content is still there, and there are unsuitable colors on the app, and there is no toolbar in the beta app.
Our team really appreciates these practical comments, which help us come to the final version for users to experience in the following videos.
Chào mừng bé đến với thế giới ngôn từ cùng Beta. Buổi trưa ra vườn hái na. Buổi trưa ra vườn hái la. Buổi trưa ra vườn hái na. Buổi trưa ra vườn hái na. Beta đang trên đường đi học. Bé hãy giúp Beta vượt qua các chướng ngại vật để đến trường đúng giờ nhé. Vượt chướng ngại vật. Ăn. Cơm thôi nào. Cảm ơn bé đã dành thời gian cho Beta. Beta loves you.
Right. I'm sorry to interrupt our video, but I have that. Oh, I would like churches to Okay, welcome the question and comments from the judges.
So very interesting. I just have a small question. What is the scientific base behind your vocational and the curriculum design?
Team, can you repeat the question kindly? kindly repeat the question?
Okay, sure. There are two questions. The first one is what is the scientific base behind your vocational game like that? And secondly, how do you decide the curriculum, the game for that application?
So for the second question first, the curriculum of the Beta Bear. So as you see that our target users are children, and therefore forcing the children to follow a course of therapy is difficult, and the bear have manipulated the children instinct, which is imitations like mimic, to make the process happen naturally, and also the feature like storytelling or singing is can manage by parents through the app. The parents can choose whatever the books that their children gonna listen to, and also the songs that the children's gonna listen to too. So that, and at the same time, with the appearances of a teddy bear, the children won't be getting bored, and also they can play with it like a toy and have a happy childhood without being forcing to do anything, and knowing that they have a treatment to become like not confident in future.
So I think you guys did a really good job. I think your design part was done really well. It was very clear. I think you really, I don't know much about the problem. I'm assuming it's a big problem, but I think you addressed it well. I think the only question I have is, like, what was the reason you guys chose this as the problem to find a solution for? Was there something like that was close to home for you guys, or what was the reason that you guys chose this as a project? Because it's great.
So thank you very much for your questions. So basically, our problem is come from absolutely my personal story, because like when I was around 5 years old, no, around 4 to 5 years old, I have made a pronunciation problem, and my mother tried to find a solution that can help me to to suffer from this problem. And at this time there were not so much like solution that they can have, that I can have. So that's why when I remembered the time when I was young, so I decided to choose this problem, because
awesome.
I think like when I focus on the small aspect, I can make a big thing for society.
That's awesome. And I hope you can help other kids, because I'm sure it wasn't easy being young and having to deal with that problem. So good for you. I hope it works out for you. You're welcome.
And also, we also get in touch with a speech pronunciation therapy doctors, and she also said that the process sometimes is really long and really costly, and many parents have to drop that process because they cannot afford to it. So compare from a solution we given, which is a bear for about 700,000 dong, people might think that it might be expensive, but actually the process, the treatment might be far more expensive than our solutions.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, I've seen. I remember when I was younger. That was a long time ago, but I remember when I was younger, and I saw my peers also have to spend so much time and parents' effort and money to help their children. So I really hope this is a great solution and you get it to market.
Thank you.
I had to say that's really, I think that your team has really impressed me on the problem and solution base. Definitely, this is really practical and really useful for a lot of children. I still have, got shared by my friends that their kids are having the way you guys present and everything, and especially that you guys have done the final part of the video for testing and showing the prototype. I think that is really well done, because that's also adding and proven that you have put a lot of time and effort into the process. What I think that you might have just to change a little bit is the way you present your product. That is, it's the bear, right? And is it come with the phone, or it's just the app? Something that you might have to kind of like present it in a way that people do not make misunderstanding that, okay, maybe when you buy the bear, it's gonna come with a phone, which is actually gonna be very costly. But it is like, I think that the design, everything that you guys show on the slide is really good and impressive. That because if you guys having the similar time with other group, then what you guys have shown that the effort you have spent, I think really big to be able to do everything like that. Maybe I think that the only thing that trying to show the market on the number of people gonna potentially use this might not be so big, but it's really practical. It's like something you can solve, like a real problem out there. So try to concentrate on that key points, that how much is the percentage of people actually having this problem, and comparing to the cost that they might have to spend, like what you have explained just now. You can actually show something like, the cost of trying to solve the problem manually, and not only about the money, but it's also the effort, the time, and everything. So the solution you guys provide can actually save a lot of that. And yeah, it's very useful. So I hope this really gonna be like a real solution you guys can provide later in the market. I'm impressed with the amount of the graphic and everything you put in the design. I think that you guys have done really good job in that as well.
Thank you.
Well,
So I will add on like some details about our product. So our product's name Beta, and it's a combination of a beta beer and an application that the user particularly is the parents can use to connect with the beta beer, and they will the beta beer will have like a technology that will transfer the data from the beer to the app through a Bluetooth, and so that the parents can check significantly the children performance and their development to know exactly what are their strengths and what the weaknesses they are.
Cool.
Yeah, and about the cost, about the price of the products, we definitely discuss a lot, because I think because we include a lot of technology into the bear and application too. So, and we all do research on the internet, and we did not find any solution that focus on like how to improve like the Vietnamese pronunciation, or exactly is the mother tongue language is Vietnamese. And so we think like we provide a reasonable price for everyone, for the user, especially is the international students who's living in Vietnam.
Yeah, cool. I have no problem with the price. I think that it's just more, like it's good to actually, with that kind of price, I think reasonable if they want to solve that kind of big problem for the kids. It's just that it's good to show that this is the bear, and also the app they can actually install on their own phone, not that you guys are providing the phone itself on the bear. So yeah.
Thank you for your recommendation. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Well done.
Well, just to add up a little bit, I really liked the product from the perspective of potential multiple incomes or revenues from the offer that you have. I mean, starting for the app, you have all the learning packages, you have the talk to the expert service, you even have the bear, which is an additional income to your business model. And I believe that if we start thinking more about it, we will find even more streams of revenue for the service that you have, which is great. to actually accomplish that, I will focus more on the marketing aspects in two things. First, what Mr. Boom said about the scientific source or the scientific foundation of your product. It's very important. You really like to give your customers the sense of having something that it was designed by experts for you, for the kids, right? And the second thing is about the privacy. You say that you track all the activities that are being done in order for you to help improve the pronunciation. And in the end, we're talking about kids mostly, and you want to give the sense to the parents that their kids' data is safe as well. So I will focus more on that. And the product, I love the prototype, and the whole idea of the service is great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Like when I do a research on the pronunciation problem in Da Nang City, particularly, and I met an international primary teacher, and she said that she really need like a product or some kind of like a application that she can use for the international students, because like in the proliferation of the technology, there are a lot of international schools that for students to improve their pronunciation in English or some kind of, but they forgot the Vietnamese. So I think like the market side is like, I think for the market side, I do think that I can use this product to exactly to improve like for the international students in Da Nang City.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just want to add some kind of scientifics of our product just that you're asking for. So, as a big in the middle of our presentation, we did talk about the CNNs, which is the kind of deep learning about the AI. So in our product, we tend to use this kind of methodology to change the voice from the kid into some kind of data that the machine can understand and compare it to the math features, which is the income information we have put it in the beginning. So it can kind of compare the two kind of information, and then can give the result for the kid is it talking it right or wrong, to improve it day by day. And yeah, and we did research some kind of about the AI a little bit.
It is great how do you mix the state-of-the-art technology with your product, and I give you kudos for that. As a tech geek that I consider myself, it's always refreshing to see some keywords like Python or neural network for that as well.
Yes. Thank you for your comments. All right. So because time is up, so thank you very much for the presentation as well as the advices and comments from our judges. So thank you, teams, and welcome the next team, Trustee. Yeah, thank you very much, Florista. I also hope to see your product on the market, and yeah, our investor, please invest in our team's product so that we can see the product early on the market. Okay, welcome, thank you, and welcome, Trustee.
Hello, Mr. E. In the video demo session, can our team have a few more seconds to open the video, because the video is quite heavy. It contains 1.2 gigabyte.
Yeah, I will try to add some more time for you then.
Yeah, thank you. So let's start it. Good morning. Welcome to our presentation. In 3, and D is D. We want our product to combine 3D engineering and safety for driver and tranquility for family. And it is also our topic, assure the safety for a driver from drowsiness.
Thank you, Dad, for your presentation. Now, look at the number 6,000. It represents the average number of annual deaths caused by the distracted driving in Vietnam, stated by traffic safety committee. And 6 states of the total driver admitted that they felt sleepy during driving, and actually 40% of them actually fell asleep. And this is a very headaching problems in Vietnam. And our question here is very simple. During the journey, and why crazy detection device for that? Let us begin. Right, let's move to the next slide. And our team mission, we have two core team mission. Firstly, is provide the safety for all of the drivers in Vietnam. And the second thing is that provide a tranquility for family and make them feel safe. Okay, so improve our product estimated product values. Hope that our release product will be have a affordable price or to be suitable for all of the members throughout Vietnam. Drivers or the coach drivers. And secondly, we could replace the traditional distraction methods. And while our research, we have seen that all of the products in the market that are the driver used are some of the stimulants such as Red Bull or sometimes smoking cigarettes, which is very harmful to the health. And product will have no side effects at all. And because that I believe in the market that will cost the passenger or drivers to help them stay focus on the driving. At least we have a convenient design that can be carried without a hassle. I think.
Okay, thank you, Young. And briefly moving on, for example, our customer is long-distance driver who often has a usual desire for their safety when driving, and also there are some common ways they used to do to get over their drowsiness. And that we eventually come up with possible solution around our device in ID step. Prototype, we update our product with software to check out mistake and complete the product, become a better version. So in POV statement, we have no long journeys easily lead to drowsiness, and almost all drivers methods they focus while driving. And we also came up with empathy map. In general, they have faced some physical problem which long journey. We also notice they worry about their anxiety because of the permanent long trip, driving concentration with technology support is so we find with sentences that are to maybe question for our part you.
Let's get into design evolution. First, this is our low 5 prototype. I'm think first guess when we
still use the water spraying as the main solution. Contact for high. This is the most special stage that our team have to stick to our customer. We met them, we interview them and gathering the feedback again and again for 3 times to develop our second sketch or first writer to the 3D design and program our software inside. The demo video after S5.
Medium 5 prototype. This is when I'm awake. And this is me when I close my
to the high turn into a physical product. As you can see here, demo is our product. If next to this slide.
will put it right here. So let me play. So the camera can work effectively. Okay, so that's for, and then it's vibrating device. So I will insert the vibrating device to the seat rail. So I will put it in my chest right here. It would be okay, okay? Right here, I can feel the vibe. That's perfect.
A few moments later.
Like this. So the camera will I'm focusing on driving. Okay? And suddenly I'm distracted. For example, browsing or talking to the passenger. This situation, I take the browsing for example like this. And this will vibrate. And you know, I can feel the vibe really strong, and it can awake the driver. And so, and you know, and back to normal. I stop vibrating. So, it will wait for next order. So that's for our demonstration. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, this is our demo video, and let's move to the future estimate. Complete the final month and bring it to our customer as soon as possible, and we can gather the feedback from them to develop our product more and more. And in the first quarter of 2022, we will continue developing the product by adding more special features, following by minimalize the size. My team will also do a market research to prepare to bring
After researching, I believe that some side effects that device to make when they open the market, then come to the product. Prices section. Our accessories are quite cheap, like the factory price, and the total price is $42.98. According to Vietnam salary, the average salary of driver is about $470, and our product have a suitable drive present the next part.
I'm very impressed with your product and the video and the fact that you wear mask inside your car. Okay, so welcome, judges.
Hi. Well, thank you for that presentation. It's a very interesting product with the potential to even save lives. I mean, sleeping while driving is certainly an issue. And but speaking about your product specifically, it seems to me that your product itself, it's the vibrating device, not exactly the camera. The reason I'm saying this because do you envision the product to be compatible with cell phones, for example? I mean, you could put the camera in front of you, and then the only product that will be useful will be the vibrating device, not the camera itself. So give me some thoughts about the evolution of your product in the future, and maybe at different stages. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. And could we have a 30 seconds to discuss?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your question. I think that in our future, we will optimize our products. And as you can see in here, our products still have wires around it. Yeah, and it's very, not very compact at all. And in the future, we hope that we will optimize it and make it like a independent camera and the processing device. And it will be not only it will be running independently, and it can also connect to the other like battery power source and the power source.
Yeah, just thinking about the fact that probably more and more taxi drivers, for example, and other car owners will decide to have their own cameras on board, and maybe they will be kind of reluctant to purchase another camera to put up to face themselves, to see themselves. So maybe you should try improving the vibrating device. I think as a concept is great, and maybe that's what you would like to look for. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Obviously, you were really passionate about your project and really doing a thorough and thought out job. And I think the solution you came out with is pretty incredible. I mean, in such a short amount of time, what you guys developed and actually prototyped it to the level of prototype you did, you guys should be very proud of yourselves, you guys. So last week I was actually in a Tesla in Arizona, and it drove itself. So what is the longevity of your product, and how can you compete with self-driving cars, which are, you know, already all over the US, for instance, and other countries where I don't even have to be awake to drive my car because it drives itself. So how do you see and I get that there's a long period of time before that's pervasive everywhere, but you have to be prepared and figure out how you fit into that ecosystem. And have you guys thought about that would be my question. Yes, you can take a few minutes to talk amongst yourself, or a few seconds to talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, very tough question.
So for your questions, I think that's kind of interesting questions. So for our team, we think that for some expensive products like Tesla, it's kind of really expensive. You know, it costs about around $200,000 for a product, right? So for our team, we aim to some budget price. You know, so especially currently we aim for the local market, for example, Vietnam or down to Da Nang. So we think that that would be suitable and for the easier target for us. So yeah, we think that's our advantage.
So that's a good answer, but actually VinFast announced that they're actually going to create self-driving cars too. So that they're already working on the self-driving part of it. So what you really need to do is figure out how you can fit in and be an add-on of some sort, so that people can opt into having self-driving or automation for driving, or they can opt for your product and tool and offering, right? Would probably be a better approach.
Can I have a suggestion also? What you guys can show is basically because the fact in Vietnam, especially a lot of driver where they do the shipping or you know, like the big truck drivers, they have to travel like for a long period, and most of the like, you know, like the accidents happen during the nighttime when they feel very sleepy, right? And especially in developing country, or you know, like a country like Vietnam, Asia, I'm sure in other continents as well, a lot of drivers and incidents like that happen. So you can target first, because with the truck it's kind of like difficult to actually producing now like a self-driving truck or like, you know, big vehicles, right? So you can actually try to target these vehicles first, and especially the driver that have to spend a long period of time on their vehicles like trucks to deliver stuff. Second thing is regarding integrating that with the phone. Yes, I think that very relevant question. But sometimes with the phone, if you have to put it on like a long period and using the camera, it might affecting the phone battery, and you know, in terms of like technically is using the phone for like the camera feature and turn it on the time to actually realize whether you are sleeping or you are awaking. It's something that you can actually show that it's not very cost effective in terms of that phone, but you should think about how to integrate that with the current camera system of that vehicle. But really, I think that your product is really, really impressive as well. So I think that the game is start getting more interesting in this morning. That the way you guys can actually show the prototype you have done, the process of the design process from the you know, it's just the paper, how you sketch out the device and how you actually bring it into life. I think it's really impressive. Especially this is like not like a software thing where you can just do it easily, but you know, just by sitting at the one place on the computer. But this is something definitely you have to incorporate and talk to a lot of kind of manufacturing, or maybe kind of like, you know, provider where they can actually make the device become a prototype for you guys. So I think great effort for your team, how you present it and how you show how it works. Maybe think of the way, I'm not sure about the vibrating thing, because when you sleep and when you're moving on the road, especially road in Vietnam, you know, it's, the road quality is not very well. So the vibrating, I don't think it's going to be really effective in terms of, you know, because it's own way you feel like you are vibrating all the time anyway when you're driving. So think of something else rather than vibrating device, maybe like a sound thing, or maybe like a, you know, just, yeah, something else may be more effective. But yeah, that's my comment.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, Mr.
So I noticed that there are only one ladies in the team. So could you please share with us the feeling of the ladies who joined like the game of the man stuff, like doing coding, 3D printings, and car drivers, and so how do you think about that?
Actually, the first thing I think of, I joined this team because I have the same problem with my leader of the team, because I actually also the few years ago I also wonder the Vietnamese traffic system has a problem with driver distraction. So when I joined the group, I have the same passion with them, and we may have the quite same energy to make the team work better. So I think it's quite effective to join the team and work with them, despite I'm only female. So it's quite appreciated. So thank you for your question.
Mr. Bong, do you have any further question for the team?
So same question, like you have to deal with the man stuff. So how do you handle that? I think that they coding their like tech nurse and their working habit is different. So you think that you are the kind of woman in tech or something?
I actually the main media assistant, and also the photographer of the team, and also the content writer in some part of the slide of the design thinking process, and also interviewing some local people in Da Nang. And so yeah, I think it's a little my part of the teamwork. So I think it was. So thank you.
Okay, you did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So if we don't have any questions coming from the judges, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the presentation and the practical.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations on your very good performance, and welcome the last team. Last but not least, Team Panic.
Mẹ ơi, trường của Trình nó này nọ.
Hello everybody, welcome to our team, Panic team. Yeah, 1 second to open slide.
Yeah, remind mom that we are in the meeting, very important meeting.
And nothing to panic. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So, welcome to our team. We are Panic team. So, before we present our project, please break in 5 seconds. Okay, because it is the last presentation. I believe you feel quite tired. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. So after 5 seconds, maybe we think what will learn what will we do after the pitching, what will we do after COVID-19 pandemic. So after 5 seconds, I just say with you that we waste 206 tons of food all around the world. And our problem today, that is the food waste. This is the serious problem. And actually, all you know about this. Our project that is PS cover. Quickly, we create equipment, support the housewives to detect the status of food. And through this product, housewives can make decision quickly what food can we eat again. So table of content today we have a 7 part. You can see on slide, and I don't read more. In the next part, my teammate will introduce more detail about the product. Listen.
Thank for your presentations. Now I'm moving to my part. Please take a second to look at our lovely faces of our teams, and then we will come to the values purpose. Our team that hope to have the customer have a peace in mind, a healthy confidence, and the most important thing is to reduce the food waste and help to reduce the financial saving for our customer too. Then we will move to the problem and solving overview. Our mission statement is that we provide family members with ease to use the leftover at home, and from that our approach ways have 5 steps. The first one is we come up with the ideas, and then we interview a wide range of people to get as many information as possible. Then we move to the next step, and we come up with we narrow down and come up with the POV and the mission statement. The third step is we come up with the how may we question and figure it out some solutions, and then we will come to make a demo from our information we have. The lastly is we will bring the demos and ask the customer for their feedback and complete the demo in the futures. That's all for my part. Move to the next part is link.
Okay, thank you, Ngân, for introducing our basic approach. And let's go detail to the need finding interview. Yes, who did we interview? In this stage, we interview a lot of people, and most of them are the housewife or the staff from the restaurant or the bakery. Before the interview stage, we thought that the restaurant and the bakery would be our potential customer. However, after we collecting the information from the interview, we realized that the hidden problem is not what we thought before, and we make a lot of empathy maps and POV, and we saw the problem thanks to Mrs. Quinn, a 40-year-old housewife living in Da Nang. On the screen is the quote we have from her. Yes, it's better to see the food waste than the food shortage. However, I always wonder that the leftover is still good to use or not, so I threw most of them. So the food waste maybe come from the feeling of uncertainty of the housewife or the people. And we have the POV and the experience prototype.
Thank you, Lynn. My name is Lam, and I'm gonna be presenting the POVs and experience prototype. The first POV that we have is the POV of the housewife named Queen. She worries that the leftover of her family is gonna badly affect the house. The second POV is of a housewife named Tan. She struggles with wanting her fridge to be full all the time, but doesn't want to waste food. And the third POV is of Mr. Huang, who is a restaurant owner that has to deal with an excess amount of food every day. So after the 3 POVs, here are some how might we questions that our group came up with. After some further discussing, the 3 how might we that we decided to focus on for our solution are these 3. Okay, so moving up to our solution, what we decided on is the food cover, which combines traditional. This is the first solution, which is a food container with a food detector inside. The next solution is a food detector which uses image recognition. The final solution of ours is the food cover. Okay, so the solution that our group felt the most feasible is the food cover. This combined the traditional feel of Vietnamese food cover and the smell detector of modern technology. So, after deciding on our final solution, here are some of our customers' experience. They are generally curious and excited for a new way to protect their food and keep track on the expiry date of their food. It provides them with an ease of mind when putting away their food and convenience to not have to reheat their food every time. So what is difficult is they are afraid that the smell would be trapped in the cover and how accurate the food detector is. Also, the size of it is quite big and bulky to put away. Some of our customers may also fear that the operation is too complicated for children and the elderly to use. Thank you. That's it for my part. Next up is Tu.
Okay, so now we move to the design evolution. In our low-fee prototype, as you can see on the screen, we have the chemical layer. So we use the chemical layer to detect the spoiled food. We also have the pumping air machine, which pump out OC and pump in nitrogen and carbon dioxide to preserve the food better. We use the 5 different color system to show the food situation. After the testing process with our end user, we come up with 3 main changes. The first main changes is the mechanism. So most our tester, they feel really worried about the safety when they hear that there are chemical layer inside the product that they use daily. We also consider to remove the air pumping function because it will make our product more complex and we want to focus on one thing at a time. We also think of reducing number of line items from 5 signal to 3 signal to reduce the complexity but still keep it clearly. So from this, we move to the mat-free prototype. We use the Tinkercad tools. So in here, you can see that we have only 3 lines. And in the top of the disc cover, we did not use the chemical layer anymore. Instead, we use a nano sensor. Yep, at the top of the disc cover. Yep. And this disc cover, you will need to be opened by hand. And when we use this test 3D design to test our end user, we come up with another changes. The first one is the outlook. So we really need to redesign our appearance because it looks really like a usual disc cover and really unattractive. The second one is the attract fabric cover need to be changed into a separated part to reduce the bulky feature and make the cleaning process more easier for the user. We also think of integrating automatic open function so that even the children at home, they can use this device, not only the housewife. So this is our high-fee prototype. So the most improvement you can see is the appearance. We use paper, right? So you can see that we use 2 main color, yellow and red. So according to psychological color, yellow and red will bring the viewer to feeling of safety. We also add in the new function that is a on button here. Yeah, so when you press on this on button, the disc cover will automatically turn on, and then you can put your foot in, and the separated fabric cover, you can use it to cover the food, to preserve it, and to keep the smell inside for the nano sensor to detect the food is bad or not. So now we will move to the prototype implemented by Duy.
Good morning, judges and friends. My name is Duy, and I'm going to present you the tools that we've used in the process of making this cover. Well, we use basic materials like paper as our final prototype because we believe that paper is eco-friendly, but
There's a drawback is it could not provide us with durability and consistency. And moving on to the technology, well, in terms of technology, this product includes a sensor specializing in detecting the scent of the food, then transmit the signal to the light through wires. Afterward, the 3-light system will show you the result. Each color represents a condition of the food. Yellow means this product is running. If it turns into red, means the food is boiled and you could no longer make use of it. And if it's turned to green, the food is edible and you're good to go. And that's pretty much it for my part. My friends will carry on.
Yeah, thank you, Yi.
Please unmute. Please unmute.
Okay, sorry. So thank you, Yi, for your part. So after the learning this subject, after the pitching, we please have a lot of things to do. So in the short term, 2 things we have to do. The first thing we should ask the consultant expert relate prior technology to advance the product, because we think that is the main step to make a difference for our product. And the second step, that is keep interviewing customer, because we believe the empathy step that is really important for our project. And we really appreciate the project because bring this step and remind our team to focus this. And so that's all for our presentation. And thanks for listening. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Yeah.
Thank you, team. You must have a huge pressure being the last team to present, so very well done. And welcome, churches. It would be lovely to see the face of our churches, because this is the last session. Yeah, so yeah, but it's already almost 11 p.m. in the US and in Nicaragua, I guess. So if you are already on bed, we totally understand.
No, not yet. I'm just thinking about not having panic at the kitchen anymore with that prototype of yours. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is increasingly an issue, the amount of food that is wasted out of the fridge, and the fact that conventional products, you can find some kind of containers at the supermarket really cheap, but they don't really do the job. And so it is interesting, all the insights you got from the housewives. Well, you can also interview students or even myself that I cook a lot, and I try not to throw away most of my food. So my question here is that sometimes people don't really know when to throw away their food or when they can still eat it. Sometimes the food might not look good, let's say bananas, but they're still edible. And at the same time, the cost of your container in comparison to other products in the market, have you considered how well it will be received from that perspective? In that sense, I mean, is the people concerned about this issue more cost-driven, or is it more about finding the solution disregarding how much is it?
Sorry, can you repeat the second question? I can't help. Sorry.
Yeah. Is the people who are experiencing this problem with their food, are they worried about how much your product will cost, or are they more focused on having a solution just as soon as possible?
To be honest, in this step, we totally focused on the technology because we want to give value first, and we want to ensure that it is safety for consumer, and but not mean that we on research about the cost on the market. We do this while we research about technology, but we divide the resources and we focus more on technology. Yeah, and so.
Okay, I just think it's still a great idea from a technology standpoint. It makes sense. My question about the cost is to see whether it's viable to just openly throw it to the market, right? But from a technology standpoint, I don't have any issue with that. I think it's a great prototype, and thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to add in something. So we did some interface research about the prices. We don't remember the companies, but there are companies. They are trying to commercialize the nanosensor. So this technology in the future, they are committed to reduce the price into just under $1. So it's really, really cheap. Yes, and so we do believe that is viable according to technology point.
So my question would be, what is your ultimate goal? Is it to reduce food waste globally, or is it to help the consumer be able to eat food and save money in the long run, right? Because my understanding is that most of our food waste is in the business-to-business space, right? And and I mean, I've owned restaurants and we've thrown out so much food, and it's a huge cost, right? So we've thrown out tons of food, and you go to places like casinos and hotels and they're throwing out so much food, right? So have you looked at actually having an industrial version of what you're doing where you could have sensors in large refrigerators or freezers, right? Because that's where we get most of the food waste. And if so, I mean, it has to be cost effective for the homeowner, but even more so for the business owner, right? Because as business owners, we need to save as much money as we can because we need to make some profit. And restaurant and hotel is the most difficult business of all to actually make money. So I'm curious, is your desire to reduce food waste globally in mass quantities, or is it to help the consumer save some money ultimately, right? But great job, you guys. You did a good job. It's a great problem you're solving, and your approach is fantastic. And I think that you really did a good job communicating to us how you wanted to solve the problem.
Thank you.
Okay, so we do take a look at a hotel restaurant target customer, for example. But to be honest, it's really difficult for us to get to know the kind of food waste, like the amount of food waste that they release each day. So we cannot access those data correctly. So we cannot work on that target customer anymore. However, when we train to the housewife target, we realize that this kinds of customer have not been focused in the marketplace. So we believe that this is a potential customer for us to focus on. And we are not aiming to reduce the global food waste. It's some kind of vision that Steve Jobs or someone else could imagine. But to us, a VNUK student, we want to focus on the life of each individual, each household, because these households, these small points together will make the society. So we always try to make change from the smallest change first before we aiming for the bigger things. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I think that you guys have done a very what I call analyzing and very cute prototype that you have done there with the paper and try to make it look like half of the planet there for me. And in terms of the idea, I think that is good intention, good idea, trying to solve the problem of the food waste. In terms of feasibility, I do have a little bit of thinking whether it's actually, because the sensor, do you use that sensor like for the smell sensor, or what type of sensors you're going to use to actually detect whether the food is, is not good enough to eat anymore? And normally, because we can use our nose and any type of kind of like our own, way of the look of the food, then we already know whether it's worth to eat. So with the consumer side, will they use it to actually try to detect something? Because it's going to take time, take space for them to keep that big, like a device for you to actually detect whether the food is good enough. And that's something that you can actually think of because of the size, because of the design, because of the easyability for them to actually check on the food. Because, like, for example, you make it really small then to save the space, but then you can't put a lot of type of food there. But if you make it really big, I don't think anyone would like to put another kind of like things in the kitchen just to detect whether the food is good to actually eat or not. And all of these kind of things that you might have to question and to actually improve on the design. And whether maybe it's just like a way, because like, for example, you can see that there are many type of device similarly just to check on the nutrition and things like that of the food, because then they can actually create another similar small device just to check on the ability whether you should be able to eat that food or not, right? So how you're going to compete if these companies, they're going to make these small device where they can just maybe touch on the food and they will know whether it's eatable or not. So the design of the product is have to be tested in a lot of way in terms of the, the usability and again, the cost effectiveness for them to use. So you might have to do analysis on the cost structure as well to make it feasible product to be able to bring to the market. So I still think that this can need a lot of work still to be able to go further on the real production. Yeah. And trust me, the green and the red would not mean that it's safe. So you might have to think of the design a different way, because normally red and yellow or red and orange mean that it's like a warning, do not eat this or do not use this. So it's something that you can take into the consideration of designing your product or prototype in the future.
Thank you.
But I love to actually see something else, like, come up with how to save the food and how to reduce the waste, food waste. Definitely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bung.
I think that the topic of this challenge is the human challenges, and you solve my my problem, my challenge every time that my mom or my wife ask me to decide the food is eatable or not. So with your electric nose with the nano sensors, I think is help. I think it's just there was a concept in Vietnam, and the device in Vietnam is different than all the countries. Is the lồng bàng, is the food cover, because we put in the table and we have something to cover. And so in the very first pictures, I thought that you will reinvent the electric lồng bàng, or with the traditional lồng bàng, and you put some sensors on that to detect the food and send some alert if the food is not good enough to eat. That means, from my point of view, you have quite a big room to improve your product and bring it to real life, because you go to the right direction, that you want to help the household, the female or the male in the kitchen to improve their life quality by it's not only reducing the food waste, but also to help them to combine the traditional nose and the electric nose. I think that they're very interesting concept, and good job, team.
Thank you.
All right. So so that is the last presentation. So thank you very much on team, and congratulations all the teams for your great performance. And judges, we would like to receive your evaluation. So please take some time to return it for us. And I would like to invite Dr. Hương to close this morning section.
First of all, thank you all teams for excellent presentation today. I can't feel more moved when to watch and see how you present and answer deal with the very tough questions of the judges. To be honest, Steve, I would like to remind you one more time. Compared with last year, you thought that design thinking course is for 4th year, and you give very low mark for the student, but actually same like this year, they all the first year students of VNUK, and we feel so moved that you try your best and overcome the COVID situation to come up with very wonderful projects. I agree entirely with the judge that many projects of you are so impressive, and most of you are for sure there's a big room to move on and to develop your prototypes so that you can launch into the market. But end of the day, I believe most of the judges, and especially our lecturers who keep watching the live stream this morning, they feel so impressed with your presentation, and also we impressed with the very viable, very real questions and very interesting questions raised by the judge. Also the recommendation for the development of the prototypes. Last but not least, I believe you have tough moments to decide and to give the marks for the groups, but at the end of the day, I think the groups all done well, and we all successful. We all succeed this morning, and I would like to send our warm thanks, special thanks to Carlos, to Steve, Miss Chang, and Bung for your valuable time for us. I think all of us and both lecturers and students understand and warm appreciate your time and your expertise. Thank you so much, and see you next year. This afternoon there will be another session with another 4 judges. Thank you so much, and see you soon in the future when COVID is much better. See you.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Congratulations to
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks so much.
Right.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Xếp one ở đây rồi đó.